Hi, I'm here with my friend Vernard from Hampton. You're gonna host, and I'm so nervous for you. So just know it's 4 women. You gotta jump in whenever you can. Find some airspace. Just be passionate about what you're saying. Just go. You gotta do better than that. Oh.
Coming up on The View. Co-host Guy Friends Week continues when Sherry's pal, comedian and actor Bernard "Bone" Hampton hits the table to weigh in on hot topics. From the girl who asked the First Lady if the president's deporting her mom, to rumors one reality star is having a baby to save her marriage, and the cyclist who says authorities are ignoring his charges Lance Armstrong used performance-enhancing drugs. Plus, George Lopez is giving you the real deal behind the late-night wars, his take on the Arizona immigration law, and how his pal Sandra Bullock is handling her shattered marriage and brand new baby boy. Then, Joan Lunden's telling you the toughest part about being a mom of 7 with 4 kids under 7. And what this GMA vet thinks of the new teams of Morning Talk. All that, hot topics and more, coming up on The View.
This is co-host Guy Friends Week, and it continues. Today it's with Sherry's friend, actor, comedian Vernard "Bone" Hampton.
Vernard "Bone" Hampton.
Vernard. Vernard.
That's my best friend.
I know my mama sitting there saying, his name is Vernard. Okay, I worked hard. Like Bernard. With a B.
But it's bone.
What's the bone?
Well, my last name is Hampton, so my friends used to call me Hambone. Then they just got lazy, so they called me Bone. And so when I started doing stand-up, I thought it would be funnier to say, coming to the stage, Bone Hampton versus my full name.
It is, well, Vernard is pretty funny, too.
But watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Coming to the stage, Vernard Fitzgerald Hampton.
Who?
Exactly. You'd be like, he got puppets. I know he got puppets.
Fitzgerald?
Fitzgerald. My mama meant for me to be a lawyer.
Oh, I see. I see.
And then I decided to do stand-up.
You decided to do stand-up, so now you're Bone. And you Sherry's best friend, best male friend.
Since '91, we've been best friends. And then that was us at Halloween. I mean, when I had glasses, that's how long we've been friends. But you know what I love about my friend is Bone has Seattle's 11 months old. He's got a son who's 11 months old.
He's
and
so cute.
Yeah, that's my baby. Seattle. His name is Seattle Freedom Hampton. Seattle Freedom Hampton. And I love it because Bone is a hot comic. And he's an actor, and he took a break from acting to just enjoy being a full-time dad. And so he moved to Atlanta. He's with his son all the time. And so now you're back hotter than ever doing your comedy. And
kids must give you good material. He gives you good material, I bet, too, because he's those 10-month-olds.
Yeah, you can call it material. Right now, I'm calling it stress.
Stress, I know.
Stress, a headache. But it's a blessing, it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
That's what they say, especially when you go, hey, baby, and they go, bleh.
Yeah.
And it's like, what did you just do? And you can't yell at them, but you can give them a vibe. Listen, what?
And I just want to say, because you were just in that movie All About Steve with Sandra Bullock, so congratulations, baby.
Thank you very much. Damn, my girl, look at that. She was so cool to work with. I just have to say, she was so cool. I had like 2 lines, but when we started doing we started filming it, she kept talking because she liked me. She's like, I think you're funny. Keep talking. I was scared I was gonna get fired.
Right.
Because I'm like, wait a minute. That's all they say. Don't be getting me fired because you still talking. She's like, I'm Sandra Bullock. I get to keep talking.
That's right.
You better keep on.
If she wants to talk, you let Sandra talk.
Sandra talk.
Now, speaking of talking, last night I was in Washington at the state dinner honoring President Felipe Calderon. It was a Mexican president, thank you. I'm mostly here. I got home at 3:45 because I got right in the car afterwards and I drove home. And so I came in. Well, it was great. It was fantastic. I felt kind of cute. I had on high heels this high.
Oh, you did?
And the security was so tight. Usually, and I've been there.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
You and Tom.
Yeah, Tommy's my partner in crime. He runs my company. But now, you know, they had so much security.
Yeah.
When I used to go, when Clinton was in, you know, you go, you drive up, you get in, you walk in, and you were in, and there you were inside. This time, baby, you had to stop the car. You had to walk 25 miles. Then you had to, they had to check you. Woo, woo, woo.
Yeah.
Then you think, okay, now we going in. No. Then you go through the door. Then you go up a ramp. Then you go up another ramp. Then you go a zigzag. And then there's more. Woo, 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 woo. And they check to see if it's you. Okay, and you think, okay, please, God, let the state dinner be right out there. No. Another up marble stairs.
I know, right? In your heels.
Around the corner. I'm in these heels that are wrong. God should have just, he should have just zapped them off my feet.
Yeah.
Because by the time I got to the dinner, I was like this.
It's a slow dinner. The state dinners are
It is
slow
and
dinners.
man,
I'll just feed you
There's
right away.
200 people and a lot of stairs.
Who's the entertainment?
Beyonce.
Oh, Beyonce. Oh, she had her hair flying.
She had a wind machine, baby. She was like, to the left, to the left. Hair was blowing. Oh, yeah. And two amazing kids who played the guitar. And George Lopez was there, so we'll talk a little bit more about it later. But these kids were amazing, you know. So, First Lady Michelle Obama visited a grammar school in New Hampshire yesterday. And one second grader took the opportunity to ask her something she's very concerned about. Take a look.
My mom said that I think that she says that Barack Obama's taking everybody away that doesn't pass papers.
Yeah, well, that's something that we have to work on, right? To make sure that people can be here with the right kind of papers, right? That's exactly right. Yeah, well, we have to work on that.
I'm telling you. But I think she gonna be all right. I think her mama gonna be okay.
Yeah,
After that one.
I think there's like pure immunity.
She's gonna have to be arrested now because she's not turning in the mother.
Would that be?
Oh, because she's not telling?
Well, the thing about it is, too, is I think that mom put too much on the kid. Why your second grade kid know you ain't got your papers?
She overhears it, maybe. Maybe she overhears it.
It's just like,
That's a real
you're supposed to let your kids be a kid. Now, if that was a black family, I have to say, because black parents are on a need-to-know basis, all right? I didn't know my mama's first name till I was 25. She like, you don't need to know. My name is Mama. That's it. So my mama still might not have her papers. I don't know. Okay. So I'm in a second grade. I'm like, you don't put the pressure on the kid. The kid's scared now. And like, wait a minute, my mama ain't got her papers. Who gonna make up my bed and feed me in the morning?
Yeah. So, what would the situation? Would there be a situation where you would let the authorities know that there was someone around you that was an illegal immigrant?
Like if you lived somewhere and they were
would you snitch on a family of illegals if they were in the neighborhood?
I mean, how horrible would you feel?
No,
I mean, that's I don't think anybody really would, right? I mean,
I wouldn't. But let's get it clear. It's not only Mexicans that are immigrants that you're talking about snitching on. Where I lived in Van Nuys, California, we had Armenian gang members. And they were hanging out outside. And I'm like, so anybody who's hanging outside, if I sense crazy activity going on, then I would say something.
Best friend, don't snitch on the Armenian gang members. Okay? See, this is why we friends, because Sherry all at the police say, it's Armenian gang member. Girl, you on The View. You need to send somebody. Don't be just telling.
But you know what? There's also a concern, too, I like you, Bone.
What's great is it's absolutely true.
I did.
That's the thing that gets me.
Right.
You are telling no lie there because she was just like, and you know what else they did? You be like, shh.
Yeah, just keep yourself safe.
Because they ain't gonna beat her up, they gonna beat me up. Because they like, we ain't gonna touch a woman, we gonna beat up the man that we see.
But there's also different. I think people are kind of globbing every person into the criminal, illegal immigrant in this country. And I think people do make the separation even between illegal immigrants and illegal immigrants who may be committing crimes. You know what I mean? So, because we have citizens who are committing the same crimes. So I think that, and I think not everyone considers an illegal immigrant necessarily, emotionally at least, a criminal.
right?
No,
so you wouldn't. It's a label that's put on somebody. It's not a behavior.
Yeah,
It's a separation that needs to.
But see, if you have friends, and I have had friends and folks who have worked for me who I discovered were illegal, and what I did years ago was say, okay, we're going down to the immigration office, because when they decided, 15 years ago, they were going to take care of this, and everybody would say, well, are you legal? You're working for me. You can't work for me, and they were making a big deal. So we went down, and it takes a while. But once they did it, they were happy. Now they're citizens, and I can't get in their house.
Do you remember the comedy club days where, the comedian be up there and somebody make noise and they go, immigration? Nobody really got scared or cared about 20 some odd years ago. That's what your point is. Now everybody's frightened and uptight about it, and it's not very nice.
No, well, because we haven't actually been honest about it. We haven't said the truth, which is we are looking for specific folks. We're not looking for all illegal immigrants. And that's why I keep saying, if we're going to look for the illegal immigrants, then we got to go after everybody. If you're specifically targeting someone, I want you to say who you targeted.
Then I'd have to look at her if you were Canadian and go, do you have your papers?
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't know that.
I mean, look, we've all traveled in Europe too, right? You have to have your
papers no matter where you are.
That's it. Right. You have to have legitimate proof and why you're there on you.
Oh yes. Okay, we're leaving now. Yes, we are. We've been just pulled into the room to say we got to go because we have more hot topics in a minute, and that's what we're gonna do.
Coming up, George Lopez is giving you the real deal behind the late-night wars, his take on the Arizona immigration law, and how his pal Sandra Bullock is handling her shattered marriage and brand-new baby boy. Then, Joan Lunden's telling you the toughest part about being a mom of 7 with 4 kids under 7. And what this GMA vet thinks of the new teens of Morning Talk.
Style magazine claims reality star Kendra Wilkinson wants to have a second child to save her marriage to NFL star Hank Baskett after a sex tape recently surfaced starring Kendra with an ex-boyfriend.
Now,
what's his name? Baskett?
Hank Baskett.
Yeah.
And I think he was in the Super Bowl. Excuse me, he's a basketball player. I'm sorry.
He's a football player.
Oh, he's a football player. Okay.
You sound like
it's a
football player. Yeah, I sound like you. He's a football player. With the Colts, okay. But this is the question that I have. I'm sorry, Hank. But when you marry a playmate, are you surprised that she got a sex tape? Because, and this is what not everybody.
But you're saying it.
She's come to.
Here's the thing. He's not surprised, but he disappointed that everybody else found out. Because we can know stuff about our wife or our woman. We just don't want the world knowing about it. Because then you got to deal with being at the club and everybody like, I know your wife, dog.
So it's more of a possession deal with the guys. It's their stuff.
Save the marriage.
To have a baby?
No.
It doesn't save the marriage.
That's like saying I'm expecting a diamond ring. Do you know? It's like an accoutrement. It becomes an accoutrement and not your child.
Because you got a baby.
I'll tell you what saves it. Not having the baby, trying to have the baby. That'll save it.
Not always.
No, that's not. Because that's stressful.
Just keep trying over and over and over again.
You've got at least 6 weeks of not having sex after that baby comes. Okay? And then you've got another little man on your wife's chest.
Yes. You're supposed to wait 6 weeks.
Yes, you are supposed to, for the health of a woman, wait at least 6 weeks, I think.
Really?
Come on the show.
If you have look, let's not get into details.
No, but I think if you have a baby,
down there.
When you're having a baby, I think if you're trying to heal the having a baby means you got to focus on the baby, which means the problems are still there. You're just not focused on them. You're focused on them. So when the baby is in school or whatever, you still got those same problems that got you there in the first place.
It's not meant to, babies are not meant to be Band-Aids. I'm coherent enough to remember that.
Yeah, it's not a fix-up.
It's not a fixer. They're actually human. Yes, they need to be dealt with like real people.
We wish you well when you marry.
Maybe a puppy would work.
No, even that, because you got to take care of a puppy.
That's true.
Actually, if you sit down and talk about your marriage and the issues, maybe that will help. Yeah. But you know what? What do I know? Cyclist Floyd Landis was stripped of his 2006 Tour de France title for using performance-enhancing drugs, charges he denied until now. Now he's claiming that doping was widespread in cycling, and he says that Lance Armstrong used them too, but officials ignored what was happening. This is according to the guy who said he was, and then he wasn't. Then he did, and then he didn't,
So
and then it was...
he went and said he was doing it, and then he goes and tells on Lance, but nobody's paying attention to the fact that Lance...
Well, do you think Lance maybe, and rightfully so, maybe did he get a pass because he had cancer? I don't know. Just saying. I'm not saying he ever did. I'm not thinking
Lance
he did.
get a pass because he got one baby maker.
He's got
That's
one
why.
testicle.
He's got one testicle.
But let me ask a stupid question. Yeah, he only has one
But see,
testicle.
when you get one testicle, by men, you get a pass for everything. You can see the video of him robbing the liquor store. You like, that ain't him, that one testicle got him. So,
Here's my question.
oh, my bad.
Why do you need, you should win anyway. Isn't it easier to sit on a bike with one testicle? That's a question.
Oh, my gosh. So what is it? Wait a minute.
No offense to you, Lance, but I don't know if it's easier to sit
I
with
see
one.
that.
No, but you seem to know a lot about that one testicle. That's what's scaring me.
And that was the
And how many
conversation.
did you end up with at the end of college?
What, your testicles?
All right. Elizabeth, tell me.
There's no transition here, really.
There's no nice way to do this. And now a word from our sponsor.
Thank heavens. Summer is almost here, and to help get the word out about Coppertone Water Babies Pure and Simple Lotion, we thought we'd throw our first bash before the splash. Do your little beach boys and beach bunnies love playing outside in the summer? Does your little surfer dude love to ride the waves? As a concerned parent, you want to protect your kids from the hot summer sun. Coppertone Water Babies is the #1 pediatrician-recommended brand of sunscreen. Coppertone provides gentle yet powerful protection so your kids can have fun in the hot summer sun. Since Coppertone Pure and Simple is tear-free, the only time you'll see any tears is when the summer is over. And because we want everyone to have fun in the sun, you are all getting Coppertone gift bags with its Water Babies products and more for the whole family.
What?
I want a baby.
Listen, take care of the baby you got and the career you got. Then if there's time, you can have another baby, damn it.
I know.
We'll be right back with the fabulous George Lopez.
Funny comedian. He's also one of the most polite talk show hosts in the business. After all, didn't he just let Conan go first? So nice of him. Please welcome back George Lopez. You were at the state dinner for Mexico last night, too. Any thoughts?
I didn't know Whoopi was Latina until last night.
She is what she wants to be.
I thought, when I got the invitation, I thought, this is either the most highest honor that a Mexican could ever achieve, or the biggest sting operation ever. When they asked all the Latinos, hey, we're going to take a group picture. How come that dude doesn't have a camera? It was interesting because I've been to the White House before. Never have I seen a centerpiece with a piece of cactus in it. I thought it was appetizing. I was getting ready to cut it with some scrambled egg and put it in. I mean, did you ever see a centerpiece or a bright blue? I mean, really backyard birthday picnic blue tablecloth. So they brought all the crazy colors. And finally, with that many Latino people and that many black people in the White House, the decor finally made sense. Big red drapes, a big chair, an old-ass clock. I mean, it all made sense. Right, well, a chair with big arms.
What do you think about when we were talking before about snitching on illegals in
About
Arizona.
immigration?
Yeah.
Well, I've discovered that some of my workers are not, and then I just ask them when a car goes by to duck down. But this is the way I look at it. If the president doesn't have to prove where he was born, why should we?
Well, he did prove it. Don't even say that.
Right?
He did prove it.
Listen, we're going green. We don't want to ruin any trees. We don't want to show papers that ruins trees. But I will say this, that with immigration, it's interesting because there's a lot of people that fit the profile. Like Sarah Palin, this is the answer to immigration. I'm going to tell you right now. This is how to get every Latino to go back to where they came from. Elect her president in 2012.
Yeah, a lot of people will go back.
We will leave voluntarily. We'll go. We'll leave. We'll put people on a. We'll go voluntarily and take Canadians with us.
I gotta ask you a question because your gorgeous old lady is here.
Yes, she is.
And now I've noticed, and maybe maybe I'm talking out of turn, but you know the president's tie was a little crooked, and fixed it for him. Were you okay with that?
Oh yeah.
I thought she'd get taken down, to tell you the truth.
I know. I'd be
To reach for the president, but he said it used to be a clip on, and now he has to do it himself. So I was a little bit like, I don't want to get tased.
Just be in an area.
I don't want one of those prongs getting loose and hitting me. But it's funny because the president of Mexico was next to Barack Obama, and he said, "This is George Lopez. He's almost like he's talking to a child, a comedian in the United States." He's very funny. Oh, see.
But George, you know, it's so funny. Going back, I just want to ask you, going back to Sarah Palin, you're talking about her. Do you think that it's a good idea that she's standing with Jan Brewer on this whole Arizona?
Sarah Palin needs to be careful because she fits the profile of a Latina.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? Tell us.
What is her profile?
Her and her daughter have a kid the same age.
This is true.
Wait a minute.
Es la verdad.
She works and her husband don't.
Oh. What else, George?
She talks a lot of smack and he don't say one word. That's very Latino.
But you know,
And he's a stay-at-home dad. Let me tell you this. Where I come from, if you're a stay-at-home dad, your ass is unemployed. You're not a stay-at-home dad.
Yes.
You're just. I had stay-in-bed uncles. Yeah. They used to run the house from the bed. They'd be in the cupboard. Somebody's knocking.
Get to the door.
Somebody get the door.
so maybe she should be a little easier on them.
My plum fell under the bed. Can you slide under the bed? She should. Listen, if you want to boycott Arizona, I mean, it doesn't really. I mean, what are we gonna do? Go find a turquoise bolo tie somewhere else?
Yeah.
A scorpion belt buckle?
Yeah.
I mean, we can find those in New Mexico. Yeah. But it's a hot, you know, a Cupid doll, a Kachina doll. It's such a hot issue, obviously.
Yes.
And to prove that I'm an American, I'm going to drive through Arizona as fast as I can.
Speaking of driving, I'm going to switch gears to something else, okay? Dancing with the Stars.
I love it.
I know, I can't believe this. And you were a huge fan of Kate Gosselin, right?
I was a huge fan of Kate Gosselin because she was so horrible. She brought my family together. We'd lay in bed and laugh and put our arms around each other with the dogs on me. I don't even like the dogs. I don't have the dogs on me.
Someone's to attack.
And you would think that somebody with that talented a cervix would be able to dance. There's 8 kids. 8 kids have come out of there. You think she'd be able to move it a little bit. That dude in Philadelphia that ran on the field and got tasered had better moves than that, you know. But, you know, the feet are usually in the air. They're not on the ground, so they're a little
It's a
difficult.
different kind of dancing.
Okay, the laughs never stop with George, and thank goodness George is sticking around. We're going to be right back. Entire day here with George Lopez. We're back with you. Oh, my gosh, and I just have to say, you are looking mighty slim. You look good.
Did you lose weight?
You know, I can always tell when I'm losing weight because I go from being confused with Eric Estrada when I'm heavy to the dog whisperer when I'm thin. So whenever I'm skinny, some people go, my dog is urinating in the sink. I'm like, just go like that. It seems to work.
You know, before I was talking, I introduced you that you were so kind to let Conan precede you. Now, how do you feel about all that? Because they bumped you back an hour.
You know, I really don't have a problem with it at all.
Okay.
I spoke to Conan before, twice. We talked the day before he made the announcement.
Yeah.
This is the way I look at it. If I get to go to work an hour later for the same money, that's a Latino dream come true.
Yeah.
To go to work later for the same money, I think Conan and I are going to be fantastic together. Listen, 60 years ago, a redhead and a Latino made TV history.
Desi Arnaz and Lucille
This
Ball.
is a same-sex I Love Lucy.
That's right. I love it.
We will win, and we will make TBS the place to watch late-night TV, not only for this generation, but for generations to come. Because already I have the youngest audience of all the talk shows.
I want to show people a bit of the show. We have a clip, actually, that's fantastic, where you're talking to Donald Trump, and you think he could be a Latino. Here.
You put Trump in gold letters.
That's true.
We love that.
That's true.
You got 5 kids from 3 different baby mamas.
I never thought of it this way. This is analyzing very, very good. You could be right.
You have your own vodka and you have your own cologne, so there's some black in there too. You know, it's been a lot of fun, and your show is great. I watch your show all the time.
Thank you. HL at 9 o'clock.
And
Thank you.
Yes. and you know, this country is diverse, and this country is inclusive, and this country really is the greatest country to live in. And that's why people come to this country from all over the world, not just the hole in the fence in Mexico.
That's right.
So,
That's right. Every one of us here comes from some other place.
Let me tell you something. Can I say something?
Yes.
There are Latinas that look like Elizabeth.
Yes.
There are Latinos that look like Bone. There are Latinas that look like you and you, which tells you one thing. We will sleep with anything. All the colors of the rainbow.
George, I wanted to ask you, I haven't seen Sandra Bullock since I did the movie, but she produced your show.
Sandra Bullock.
I love how she discovered me, but you're in the movie. I haven't even been in the movie with her. But Sandra is...
how's she doing now?
Sandra's the greatest. We all love her. And she is, yes, she's the greatest. She's a strong woman. And if anybody was meant to be a mother, it is Sandra Bullock.
Well, that's the funny thing is she had the baby, Louis.
Yes.
And nobody knew. She kept this secret for about 4 months. Nobody knew, but you knew. You had met the baby because you were going back and forth. How is the baby? How is Sandra as a mother? This is so
Wait
exciting.
a second, you kept your mouth shut? I
Yes.
can't
Can you
believe
believe
it.
that?
I can't believe
I was told.
George said nothing.
I said, I know nothing. They go, does she have a child that is African American? I said, no, that's Prince. She's with Prince. No,
That's good. You're crazy.
not with Prince.
But how is she? I mean, just as
She loves. She has an open heart. She has an open heart for everybody, and she's going to be the greatest mother. She's my fairy godmother. The Blind Side movie. Her and I lived that movie. She found me, gave me an opportunity, and here I am because of her.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
What's going on with Marmaduke, right? You're playing the cat, the voice of the cat in Marmaduke, right?
I found now, Elizabeth, that when I'm in movies, they prefer only my voice than to my face. And you know, and I have lost weight, but it's just really just Spanx for men. That's all I got on under. It's just Spanx.
You were great in that Valentine's Day movie. You were funny.
Yeah, but I got to act opposite Ashton Kutcher. What the hell is that? It's like Ashton Kutcher and a Latino Shrek doing scenes together. They're like ears coming out of the side.
How long have you and Ann been married?
We've been married for 16 years. And together 20.
She your favorite person?
She's my favorite person. Saved my life. She's the greatest.
Let me ask you this, George.
That's right. She literally saved your
Yeah,
life.
literally saved my life.
Gave you a kidney, am I right?
5 years ago.
Yeah.
And she could, yes.
What did you give her?
And she can turn it on and off when she wants. She's like, go to bed. I'm not tired.
You're 49. You're turning 50 now. So you must be so happy to be turning 50. Since you didn't have a kidney that, you know, that was working before, it changes, you know?
Well, you know, I sat on myself 2 weeks ago. That's probably not a good path to 50. I am, you know what I mean?
No.
I know. I thought I had a little more space than I did when I sat down. But you have to enjoy your life every day because it is short. And I learned that when I was sick. So, yeah, we do a lot of work to make sure people stay healthy.
That's right. Good. Well, happy
George,
birthday.
I was going to ask, if you thought that y'all were having problems, would you think it was a good idea to have a kid to fix your problem?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about in Hot Topics of, you know, should you have a kid to fix the relationship? So y'all don't have problems.
No.
Yeah,
She's like, no. She already gave the kidney. That was enough.
Yeah, we used to come home and I would see a candle on in the bedroom. I'd be like, oh, damn. What did I do? Because she would set the mood for a romantic interlude.
Yeah.
But I looked at it like, oh, man. All right.
And you know you love her, George.
I do.
Yes, that is your woman. Oh, my God.
I do. And Marmaduke comes out June 4th, and Lopez Tonight is on Monday through Thursday.
And we will be watching every night, and we're going to go out and see Marmaduke. We love you, George. Thank you for coming by. Thanks so much to George Lopez. You can catch Lopez tonight, weeknights. Check your local listings. We're going to be right back with Joan Lunden.
Joan Lunden spent 17 years waking up to say Good Morning America because with 2 sets of twins under 7, she's probably not getting a lot of sleep these days. Please welcome Joan Lunden.
Nice to meet you. You too. Hi, girl.
Hey.
This one was with me at Good Morning America.
Yes.
We were both 12, I think, right?
Yeah, we were 12. I worked as a receptionist at Good Morning America.
And she entertained everybody out in the hall. And you always said, someday I'm going to be on TV, I'm going to be doing it, I'm going to be a comedian.
Is that why they fired me?
You know what?
Did she ever mouth off to you, Joan? Did her mouth ever to you?
Sometimes people would call me and I would literally hear her out there. I don't know, she's off breastfeeding somewhere.
No, they come up from Canada. Where is Joan Lunden? I'd say she's lactating. Because you were. But they used to say, always lactating, Joan.
I used to start the show as Joan Lunden and end the show as Dolly Parton. Right?
That's right. Yes, you were raising kids there. Little kids, yeah.
And you know what? I mean, people, though, say, you know, how hard is it these days to have 2 new sets of twins? Yeah. If I made it through that, getting up at 3:30 every morning and being at work and taking my first 3 with me. Oh, there they are. Look at that little gaggle. Here are the new ones. Like? Max and Kate are 7, and Kim and Jack are 5. And, you know, there we are, pumpkin picking. And, you know, the older girls come back home so much now because they don't want to miss it. It's fun. It's cute. It's
3 or older, right? You have 2 here in the audience, which is great. What are they up to?
Girls are here. Where are they? Oh, there they are, right here. Lindsay, raise your hand, Lindsay. Lindsay works with my company, which is phenomenal. She just got through helping me launch a line of linens, Joan Lunden Home. She's been great in it. I love it. And Sarah is working at NBC, but she's working a morning show at MSNBC, actually, and she has to be there at 5 in the morning. I don't know. I find some kind of humor in that.
It goes right now, having the children, do you have a lot of help from your husband, or?
I married a guy who owns summer camps for kids.
Oh,
okay. After the first set of twins, he said, you know, what's another couple of hot dogs on the grill, you know? So we went for it again. And, of course, you know, you put in more than 1 embryo, you might get more. So we ended up with 2 sets of twins. And it's phenomenal. It's so much fun. I know you think I'm crazy, but...
No, you're not. You know, it sounds like fun to me. As long as all the kids are fine, you know, and you have enough money to take care of them, it's fun. Yeah.
And also, if you're healthy and like, if you don't want to be on the field at T-ball on Saturday, then don't do it. You know, it's clearly a life choice.
Right. And your 3 older kids grew up on the set of Good Morning America, which you was there for 17 years.
Yes, they were all the time.
Did you have any hopes or dreams that they would want to be an anchor?
You know, I don't know. I mean, it's funny because they all work in a way with me now. My oldest daughter actually was a champion horseback rider and jumper, Grand Prix jumper. She followed her passion, and she's doing that, and she loves her life. As you know, as a parent, as long as each one of them is happy, that's really all you care about.
You're only as happy as your unhappiest child.
Michelle
Boy,
Obama
are
recently
you
said
right.
that.
That's true.
If
Who
things
said that?
are,
Michelle Obama
It's a
recently
fact.
said.
Because if one of your kids is unhappy, you're miserable.
Or your grandkids.
Or your grandchildren, I guess.
Well, you know, Joan, Mother's Day came up. So how was Mother's Day in your household?
Oh, I got lots of things made out of popsicle sticks, and you know, like crazy art. And
when in doubt, do the popsicle stick project.
Oh, absolutely. You know, and wonderful. You know, but the other day I found a wonderful thing that Sarah had made for me when she was probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 years old. And it was like a little book, and I went through, and it talked about Mommy is on TV, and Mommy likes watermelon. Like, I don't know where that came from, but I mean, all these bizarre things. And one day I was listening to them, and they were talking with their friends, and the kids were saying, my daddy's a dentist, and my daddy's a lawyer. My daddy does this, and I heard them say, my mommy talks.
That's what you do. That's right.
I mean, that's what they think of what I do. I just talk.
You know, you do, I have to say, you wrote the foreword to the Chicken Soup for the Soul book called Thanks, Mom. And speaking of talk, you speak so lovingly about your mom, 91 years old. And just the stories and the lessons are
There's my mama. That's Glitzy Gladdy. They call her Hap, and Hap is short for happy. And you know, if there's one thing I got from my mom, it was my positive attitude and my enthusiasm for life, her resolve. We lost my dad when I was just 13, just going on 14 years old, and I watched her go out and redefine her life because she was a stay-at-home mom, and she knew she had to go out and, you know, work and make a living and take care of us, and she just managed to come home every night with a smile on her face, and that's the most important thing I learned from her, that we keep redefining our lives. And, you know, as long as you come to it with a smile and an enthusiasm, you know, that's really probably going to determine the outcome more than anything else.
Didn't your father die in a plane accident?
Yeah, flying our private plane,
That's terrible.
So, I mean, it was a horrific thing, and yet what I remember most about her was her resolve and her ability to be
Yeah,
be
she lives in a house with 5 other senior citizens.
Yes, and they're all watching right now. Hi, guys.
How many? It's 3 men and 2 women.
It's 3 men and 2 women. And my mom, you know, she also...
Any Viagra in the vicinity? I mean, that could be dangerous for your mother.
Well, I hear there's some flirtation going on there. I don't want to say anything, but...
it's a personal life.
But as far as I'm concerned, if they can be following her around and checking her out when she's 91, I want to be just like you when I grow up, Mom.
You know what?
Just like you.
And if any of them capture her heart, they'd be the lucky ones, because from what I've been reading about her and here, what an incredible woman indeed. You are perfect to write the foreword for this book. You guys are going to want to check this out. Our thanks to Joan Lunden. And the girls, everyone in the audience is taking home a copy of Chicken Soup for the Soul. Thanks, Mom. We'll do it right back. It's really touching.
We need to thank Vernard Hampton.
Bernard, really, it's the same name.
Tomorrow, Joy's pal Mario Canton is our special guest co-host.
That's right.
Now, who's on your show tonight?
You know, Joan Lunden's coming back tonight to talk about fertility in older women.
Right.
So that'll be interesting. And Lisa Ling and her sister are coming on to talk about their ordeal in Korea.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So listen, everybody, enjoy your day. Take a little time to enjoy the view.